Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi Odds here. It is Tuesday morning. It is Valentine's Day. Will you be my Valentine? Yes, will you be my Valentine, Orlando? We want to kick your ass today. That's why I wear red today to go against your blue. Let's go, Raptors. All right, so today we're playing the Magic. It's our last game before the All-Star break. We want to continue to get the good vibes going. And I want to tell y'all, yesterday the Raptors were out in full effect, putting good vibes on this city. In fact, they went to the MLSE Launchpad yesterday as a whole. I counted 12 Raptors in this group coming into this little community rec center, the MLSE Launchpad, and meeting with a bunch of middle school young ladies that love to play basketball. It was very much an outreach to encourage young women to play sports. And I loved the whole event. It was amazing to see all 12 of these Raptors there. It's an amazing group of who all was there. I can tell you who wasn't there, and I'll tell you why they weren't there in a second. But man, it was cool to see them playing games with the young women, doing all kinds of crazy like cone grabbing off the ground and turning around and talking about basketball theory, and then talking about women in sports. And they had some seminars, which Fred and Chris Boucher and Thad Young sat down and they heard a whole seminar, a speech on why it's important to encourage women to do sports and to get into it and to find more equity in sports for women also, as far as like talking about the obstacles and the things that they don't get like the men do, as far as the money and the profession and things like that. But yeah, really my eye-opening stuff for Fred VanVleet and Chris Boucher and Thad Young and different people that participated. There was a cute little photo booth with the players could take pictures with fun little like icons, and Gary and OG and Scotty, and a lot of them were taking pictures with the young women and just looking real cute and fun. And when they came into that room, into that gym, oh my gosh, the ovation they got. That's like the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. It's like that kind of shit, It's like, wow. It was crazy, but so much fun to see the team solidarity, and the vibes were strong, y'all. The smiles, the laughs, the happiness, the team's camaraderie, very, very much in effect for a nice special event for somebody else, not for them, for the kids. And really proud of you, Raptors. You guys look like you had a lot of fun doing it also. Just goofiness. Like there's one clip, you'll find all kinds of clips about this event yesterday with OG's doing his dancing at the thing. He's doing some moves, and the young ladies are doing it with him, and Scotty is standing to the side laughing his ass off. And I know that this is such a fun thing for Scott, because last summer on Twitch, that was one of the best moments on his Twitch stream, was when he would watch OG dance. He thought it was so hilarious, OG's dancing. And like we would watch the clips and him reacting to them on Twitch last summer. And that was always one of the funniest moments on Twitch, was when he'd watch OG clips. So we had a live OG clip going on at MLSE Launchpad last night with OG doing his his nay and all that shit. And Scotty is standing next to him laughing his ass off, because that's what it is. Now, it looks like there is, some people noticed that there's a gravitational kind of like hanging out between Gary, OG, and Scotty. There's some really cool synergy between those three guys at this Launchpad event. Now, everybody was there except for Precious. And everybody's like, where the fuck is Precious? Why isn't Precious at the MLSE Launchpad with all of his other teammates pretty much? I think other than Coloco and the Two Ways and Precious, everybody was there. Well, Precious was at the Scotiabank Arena, and he was doing some sort of project with Open Gym. I don't know what they were doing at Scotiabank last night, but we will find out. It's Open Gym. It's open. They're open in the gym to tell us what the fuck's going on in there. But they had a graphic up on the screen in the Scotiabank, and it said, welcome, Open Gym. And it had Masai there. They had a couple of different other people there, the creators of Open Gym. So I don't know what Open Gym episode's coming up with this stuff, but it seems like it's going to be very fun. It could even be that they're interviewing the people who make Open Gym for an episode of Open Gym. So Precious was at that taping and being a part of that. So that's why he wasn't there with them. Now, Precious is listed on our injury list today, guys. There's a couple guys on our injury list that I don't like seeing there. And we're gonna have to see what our lineup's like today. It could be very interesting. OG is already ruled out for today. He will be taken off over the break. From now, he is not going to come back today, so we won't see him. The soonest we'll see him is New Orleans on the other side, guys. Gary is questionable for today with his left calf strain still, and Precious is questionable due to a right ankle sprain. Now, we saw Precious land kind of weird on his ankle in the last game, and I think that's where it came from. That he kind of was ginger on it, and I saw him kind of walking a little crazy on it for a second against Detroit. So I'm pretty sure that's where he got injured, was in the game. You could see, if you go back and watch the game, you'll remember a spot where he started walking on his ankle a little funny. Well, I hope that this isn't for long, and maybe one of them will actually suit up today. But in some ways, I'm not upset about it either, because if they need the whole break and we need to just rest them up and get them ready for New Orleans, so be it. But there is a good chance we'll be without OG, Gary, and Precious today. And that's our injury report. On the other side, it's very interesting with them. This is a different Magic team than the one that swept us in Orlando earlier this season. There's a lot of faces that are left, and there's some faces that are hurt and then will not be playing. Mo Bamba is gone. He is on the Lakers now, guys. Terrence Ross is gone. He is now on the Phoenix Suns. So they got a lot of different looks. They're not as deep right now. And Cole Anthony did not play last night. He is day to day today with I don't even know what his ailment is. It just says he's day to day. And then RJ Hampton has not traveled with the Magic, and he is expected to be waived and bought out in the next day or so. So it's really interesting what's happening with the Magic. They've kind of signaled that they are really tanking, that they're not trying to compete like they did for a month earlier this season, where they went on a crazy win streak. Well, we need to get some get back at them. They really fucked up our season in some ways when they beat us twice in Orlando. It really, really hurt us in a lot of ways. And these guys need to remember this today when they take the court, the Raptors, that these fucking guys beat the shit out of us in Orlando, and they kind of derailed our season spiritually. And we can't fucking be having them come up here and beat us in our own house. After that, we have won one game against them this season, and this is the last game of the year against Orlando. We want to even the series. We don't want to be 3-1 for Magic. We need to even this series and put it at 2-2 and fucking even this shit with this shitty ass Magic team that's on the rise that has a lot of good players. I'm sick of this shit. Let's not lose to the Magic today. There's no reason to lose the Magic today. They were in Chicago last night beating the Bulls. Thank you. They did beat the Bulls and helped us in the standings last night. But now it's time for you guys to come and get an L and help us again by putting us up higher in the standings, higher than number 10 in the play-in. Yes, we are in the play-in, and I love being in the play-in. I don't give a shit what you tank motherfuckers think. The play-in and the playoffs is the direction the Raptors need to be going. We have Poeltl, and we are ready to win. And we're going to win tonight, I hope. The lineup for Orlando is looking like this these days. Markelle Fultz is very much a good point guard for them. He almost had a triple-double last night. He's very dangerous. I know because I've got him on my fantasy team. Thank you, Tom Duke. And Gary Harris is the shooting guard. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and then Wendell Clark Jr. That's their starting lineup these days. And, of course, they're playing Jalen Suggs. They got Jonathan Isaac back from his flat earth fucking I'm Trump 45 idiot tour. So he's playing again. And then Bol and Mo Wagner. So that, they've got the size still. They've got different good things about them. But we need to neutralize them with size because we've got Jakob now. We need to really, really meet these guys with their size. And so I want to see what Jakob looks like against the bigs on Orlando today, because that was a huge difference they had over us when they kicked our ass in Orlando. That they had size that they really bullied us on. Well, let's see, motherfuckers, if you can bully us now that Big Brother's here, Mr. Poeltl. You come and try and bully us now, bull, motherfucker. We got Poeltl to get right in between your ass, motherfucker. Yeah, I got an edge. The other injury that's kind of note is Goga Bzats. He's been acquired by Orlando, but he hasn't cleared all his shit, so he probably won't be playing tonight. So, yeah, that's your injury report for tonight. Let me check in with you guys and see what the Raptor freaks are saying this morning. Tom Duke is in the house. Number one, Tom Duke holding it down. The West Coast Raptor freak president. Tom Duke is in the house. All right, let's see. Winning. Good morning. I think Tom's feeling better. I got a feeling that Tom is feeling better this morning. Yes, I do. Just look this up. The word raptor comes from the Latin word rapier, which means to seize or to take by force. Let's go. Yes, Tom. I love what you just brought up. And you know what? We really are what we say we are. We are there to seize and to take by force. You tell Gary Trent Jr. or OG Anunoby they're taking the ball by force from the other team when they steal it. Yes, that's what we do. In fact, Jakob Poeltl, he fouled out the other day against Detroit. He had not fouled out all season because in some ways what the Spurs did and what we're doing is very opposite. This is what he said after the game the other day. He said it yesterday in practice. Sorry. He said, one of the biggest adjustments I've had since coming here from San Antonio is Coach Popovich really preached like holding back and not fouling. He really didn't want me to collect fouls. In fact, our philosophy on the Spurs was to not get fouls or put the other team on the line at all costs. So all season, Jakob has not been fouling people on purpose. He's been staying away. He's been holding back. It's almost like he's a defensive presence. He's not reaching in or doing any of this kind of stuff. Well, this is what Nick Nurse wants him to do. Reach in and get aggressive and go after the ball and get physical, meet with contact on the ball on defense. And that's what he's switching to. And that's why he's got 5 fouls in the first game playing for us and 6 and fouled out on Sunday. Is because it's the exact opposite philosophy than Greg Popovich wanted him to do in San Antonio. He wanted to lay back and don't foul nobody. Well, Nick Nurse wants you to go foul people, Jakob, because it is very much a part of his defensive philosophy to be very aggressive, trapping. And we know some people hate it. We are very gambling on defense and that we're very get into it and go after it, very much like the root word from Latin that Tom just quoted us, that we go to seize and take by force. Well, this byproduct of that kind of defensive philosophy is giving fouls to Jakob, and he should expect to get in foul trouble often. That is part of the reason why we do get in foul trouble is because of our Raptor defensive mentality. And I'm all for it. I like it because it agitates, and it is the reason why motherfuckers turn the ball over so much to us. So I ain't got no problem with it. Jakob seems like he kind of likes it too, because in some ways, maybe in San Antonio, he couldn't go all out. Well, now he really can, and he can be aggressive. But the byproduct is he will get in foul trouble. And that's just how it's got to be. Logical Raptors Fanatic is here. Good morning to Mike. My name just got way more interesting with that definition in the middle. Okay, yeah. So logical, seizing and taking by force fanatic. And I am the seize and take by force freak. That's funny. Okay, Jimmy Pove is here. Let's get this dub before the All-Star break. Then hopefully we come back swinging all healthy. Man, Precious, can you do what you did last season after the All-Star break and have some sort of crazy bump in your game and just some ultra confidence and just go crazy in this second part of the season? Oh my gosh, maybe it won't be Precious this year. Maybe we'll see another Raptor break out and have a post All-Star break fantastic run. It could be any of them, honestly. We could see Pascal go on a masterful, amazing, perfect run of all NBA basketball. We could see Fred uptick his shooting stats and make more points and shoot even more, fucking haters. Be more selfish, people that hate Fred. Yeah, be selfish, Fred, because I love it when the ball goes through the hoop and you shoot it so much. Yeah, take that, Fred haters. What if that happens? Because honestly, he had 20 points in the first quarter against Detroit because of Yak. He's going to be scoring more, guys. Everybody that hates Fred, get used to hearing his name yelled by Kurt Herbie over the prompter. And then you hear that, yabba-dabba-doo, Fred Flintstone call, because you're going to be hearing it a lot because he's going to be getting a lot of shots. And you can say he's selfish, but get used to it because he is one of our best options for scoring. So, yeah, I would love to see something like that. But in honesty, it could be someone like Scotty. It could be Gary. It could be Precious again. It could be any of them with a post-All-Star break phenomena of stepping up Popa positivity. That's what I want to see. Shere Khan is here again. Good to see Shere Khan. Raps are the best at reaching out to our community. Big ups. So true. I mean, these dudes really love these kind of events too. They're not there because they don't want to be there. You can tell when a team is kind of like half-assed about doing shit out in the public, but these guys enjoy it too much. You really can tell. Whether it's St. Jude's in Memphis recently, or it's going to the sick kids hospital earlier this season, or the stuff they did yesterday, they get enriched and feel way better about it. They feel like heroes in a way. I mean, they come in and they can see the kind of impact and the smiles and the way they make people feel. And that's just good vibes. It kind of makes you remind you of, like, you know what? There's a lot of shitty things in some ways about being an NBA player. It's the grind, it's the travel, the injuries, the stress, the pressure. But there are some real good golden perks on the outside of the whole lifestyle. And this is really, if you're a great person with a big heart, this is a way that you really can enhance your life. When you do things for other people with nothing in return, you really are doing things for yourself in a roundabout way. You really do kind of form more of like a feeling of being human by going out and doing something for other people when you don't really get anything for it yourself. And I really love that the Raptors are like this. And you're right, Shirkan. Big ups to the Raptors for influencing young women to get more into sport and say, listen, we're going to pay more attention. Fred said it yesterday. The Toronto needs a WNBA team, and that we need to get that game sold out this summer when they play that exhibition WNBA game at Scotiabank Arena this summer. Show them that we are a viable market and that we can get a WNBA team for the Toronto Raptors franchise, and we will support the hell out of it here. So yeah, I'm about big up in women's sports and putting them on a more equal playing field with the men's sports. Yeah. And anybody who gets mad about that, or like, what are you, they're not as good, I don't like watching them. Stop pushing that rhetoric. They are just as good and they are fun to watch. It's just that we are stuck with these stupid gender ideas from programming when we're children. And that, the women are just as entertaining. In fact, I enjoy watching women's basketball because it's more purely basketball than the NBA at this point. The NBA has become an individualistic kind of sport. Well, it's very team oriented with the ladies still. And that is why I enjoy watching them. So yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of better women's sports in general in the whole entire world. That they get more shine, get more pay, and that, things are better for them in general. And I want to be a part of helping that, just like the Raptors. Logical saying, salute real ones, Project Truth always. Logical, according to the rules of logic, and Raptors to seize or take force, and fanatic, a need to know every piece of information about a subject. I don't know if that's actually the definition of fanatic, Mike, but we'll let you have that because I don't think the definition of fanatic is very nice. Dr. Wong is here. Good to see Dr. Wong. Good to know we have a doctor in the house, just in case anything goes wrong. We are the best team in the play-in right now. For sure, Dr. Wong. It's because we are very much not where we should be this season. This is really kind of a tale of the Raptors. We never should have been down there. We never should have been down here. We are one of the top 5 best Eastern Conference teams up there with Milwaukee and Boston and Philadelphia. We should have been up there this whole fucking time. Our season was derailed by injuries and bad luck and horrible things happening that really fucked up our season. And we are not where we should be in the standings as far as our power and who we are, as far as how good we are. And that's the scary thing to a lot of people. That's right. They wanted us dead and gone. They wanted us down there buried with Orlando. But we are not. We're rising up like a zombie on Walking Dead. Yeah, you were dead 5 minutes ago, but now we're coming back after you. And Thriller's playing Michael Jackson. Because this is Thriller. Because we're coming after you like a zombie team. Because we were supposed to be dead, motherfucker, but we ain't dead. We're coming for you guys. Logical saying, let's see what else Logical is saying here. Giants of Africa thing. Precious is a key part of that 10-year anniversary of Masai being, oh, wow. It could be all kinds of things like that. Mike is hitting some good reasons for why Open Gym was filming in the Scotiabank Arena last night with Masai Ujiri and Precious Achua. This makes a lot of sense. This could be something for Masai for his 10 years on the team. This could be something related to Giants of Africa. It could be all kinds of different things. But we do know there was an Open Gym event last night. and that Precious was there. Jimmy saying, I really want some payback. Oh, that's right. Let's get that James Brown playing. It's because I don't know karate, but I know crazy. I know that. Yeah, yeah. Race Mode is saying, good morning, freaks. Let that sun shine through our season. It's time to get some get back. Yes, the sun is shining bright. I don't have to enhance the light because everything's going to be all right tonight. Yes, let's go, Edmund. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Good game day. Let's get a W to climb up further in the ranks. Yes, this is very important right now. Let me get the standings up real quick because I want to see exactly where we stand right now because it is very tight right around the end of the back end of the play-in right now where we're at. You know, we're only we're tied with the Wizards, and we're actually technically in the 9th seed now because the Wizards lost last night, guys. So we are actually the 9th seed at this point, and we would play the Wizards in the secondary play-in game and still have to play 2 play-in games. But if we get a couple higher, we can get into the top half of the play-in. That'll mean less games to get into playoffs. Very, very good. So Chicago has fallen out of the play-in with 4 losses in a row, including the one to Orlando last night. Now, this is great that Orlando played last night in Chicago. This is them on the second night of back-to-back. Use your depth, Adrian Griffin, because we have heard that Nick Nurse is still not going to be back tonight, that Adrian Griffin will continue to coach the team tonight because Nick is still away for personal reasons. You know what? Listen, I know Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is a very strong person who can put up with a lot of stuff. And I have a theory about what's been happening with him. I think that there's something in his personal life that has been kind of like scary and kind of like bothering him for this whole season. That he's had something for a couple months now, and something has happened now that he has to go away to take care of that may have been weighing on him this whole time. And I'm wondering if part of the reason why he's been so agitated and so angry, along with the losing and the hard times on the team, he may have had something stimulating him on the outside from his personal life that was making him more ornery. That he was feeling sad or upset about something that was happening that we had no idea about. And now that he's left the team, that may have been part of the reason why the last game he played or coached, he was cussing out the refs and got an extra timeout to cuss him out because he has anger right now. And he may be angry, not necessarily only about basketball things, that it may be partly related to why he's away right now, that he's been dealing with something that's been tough in his family or something. And it's hard for him that he has anger from it. So I think that may be part of what's happened with him the last couple months, because in some ways, Nick has had an edge to him in a different kind of way in the last 2 months. He really has. And besides the losing, there could have been outside things that were making him even more agitated and angry. I'm just speculating, but this is something we need to consider as Raptors Nation for why he's absent right now, and even why he may have been acting so like crazy before and so emotional. So yeah, I was wondering about this. I really, really was. Let's see. Forgetful saying, good morning, Forgetful. On Cupid's Day here, hoping the Bachelor Raptors all have a Wilt Chamberlain night. Or Wilt Chamberlain game. Oops, I shouldn't have said night. I should have said game. Overnight. Listen, whatever they do with their personal lives and that kind of stuff, you know, I'm not into that. That's tabloid gossip bullshit, and that's their personal lives. You know, a lot of people were bugging Scotty on the Twitch last year about do you have a girlfriend? Ooh, all this stuff, and saying stupid shit to him like that. He don't want to answer those questions. He did say that we're special people in his lives, meaning he probably has multiple girlfriends that he sees here and there, but there's nobody he's going to mention or put on blast. And he didn't. He was like, I don't want to talk about these people, but I do have friends, is what he said. I don't care about all that stuff. That stuff that has nothing to do with me. It's Valentine's Day. Sure. I hope they have people that they love. We know Thaddeus has Shanika. We know that Fred has Shantae. That's all I care about. They're married. They got kids. And if the young single Raptors want to go and do what they're going to do, it's going to be the All-Star break after the game tonight. So they can do whatever the fuck they want after that because they're on break after that. So if this is what they're going to go do for Forgetful, then so be it. It's their life. You know, that's how it is. Jimmy Pope's here saying we're the 9th seed now, Lex. Yes, I'm glad you corrected me, and I actually went and looked because it changed like overnight last night. Last night we were at 10th. And then I guess at the end of the games last night we got there. Kareem is here. Good morning to Kareem Thomas. Sheb brought up a very good point. Having Scotty Barnes run the 2 gives him the flexibility to see the floor and bring the ball up, but not as a primary ball handler. He will create more disadvantages against the other team. Yeah, I like Scotty at the 2. I like any of those guys at the 2. Seriously, Gary's still fine at the 2. But if you're playing OG or Pascal or Scotty at the 2, that's a big lineup. And that just causes all kinds of nightmares for the other team because it's just too big. It means that the other guys that are the other 3 guys that are bigger are, just as much of a problem too. So I'm all about bigger guys playing at the 2. And Scotty at the 2, you're right. He's kind of like a secondary ball handler with a primary ball handler out there, and he's not taking the total brunt of the responsibility and the pressure. So, yes, very good illustration, Chev. I appreciate you, Chev Nation. NBA Chev is my kind. He is my people. I love you, NBA Chev. I love you. I love you. Be my Valentine. Ah! I was just doing my impression of the little girls yesterday at the MLSE Launchpad. Shere Khan saying, with Precious and Gary potentially out, who do we start today? Fantastic question, Shere Khan. Well, let's think about it. Without those guys, well, Gary wasn't out. I was out last time. So we're really just replacing Precious in the starting lineup. So we'll have Fred, Scotty, Pascal, Jakob, and maybe Chris Boucher, because I feel like he's the next one in line after everybody to be a starter. And if you're not going to have OG, Gary, and Precious, then it's probably Boucher. Boucher would probably come in the lineup. Or I could see this. I could see Griffin going small tonight and starting Malachi in the starting lineup with Fred and slotting everybody up the other way. Now, I don't like that. That makes us very small, and that's not smart against a towering team like the Magic. We've seen the Magic are very tall. Now, Mo Bamba's gone, and that's going to help because Mo Bamba was a big problem. And honestly, in the down low, I think they fucked up trading Mo Bamba for Patrick Beverley, and now they're just going to waive Patrick Beverley, and he's going to be bought out and sitting at home. But listen, they kind of fucked up when they got rid of Mo Bamba because the synergy between Bamba and Bobo and then Mo Wagner and all these tall guys was a big reason why they were badass. In fact, when we lost to Orlando those 2 games, Mo Bamba was actually the X factor in my books. He was the guy who actually fucking killed us. Well, they traded him to the Lakers, and they got rid of Terrence Ross too, who's really kind of their most capable bench guy. I'm not going to say this game's going to be easy because Orlando's really hard to kind of handicap and figure out who they are and what they're going to do because some of their players are very young and they don't always show up. So I don't have any idea how we need to go about this in some ways. Now, I do know Mo Bamba being gone is very good. So I'm going to predict that they're going to probably start Chris. That they shouldn't go small, like I said, with Malachi. They need to keep tall and keep Scotty as a guard and put Chris Boucher in the starting lineup with Jakob and Pascal up front. That may be the look that he does, but who knows? It could be even Juancho. He could be like, or Thaddeus. He could even start Thaddeus. So I'm going to guess it'll be one of those 4 guys, and we could all have our favorite idea of who it should be. It could be Juancho, Thaddeus, Chris, or Malachi. I'm going to guess it's one of those 3. But then there's a really weird idea. What if they started Delano instead? They're like, okay, we need another guard, and they put Delano in there at shooting guard in the 2 spot. And then Scotty's kind of the 3, and Pascal's the 4, and Jakob's the 5. There's a couple of different ways they could do this. And in some ways, it may be very interesting to see because it'll kind of tell us where the rotation and what he values and what they're like kind of looking for off the bench. Who's the next man up is basically what I'm asking. So I don't know, Shere Khan. I think that any of those are going to give different looks. If I did it, I would pick Chris. I would pick Chris if I was a coach tonight. If it wasn't Chris, I'd pick that. Just because those seem like those are the 2 guys that are getting in off the bench the quickest out of everybody who's left. So that's a really good question, Shere Khan, and I'm glad to see you here again today. Mark B saying, yesterday I commented about Fred and Pascal peaked. I don't believe they peaked. I meant the shot energy peaked playing the way they play. They can get better shot selection and decisions to pass out. Okay, glad you're clarifying, Mark. And I don't want to mischaracterize any of your comments. If I do say something that isn't exactly what you said, definitely correct me, because I do want to make sure I'm getting what you're trying to say and not mischaracterizing what you're trying to say. Okay. So yesterday I misread your comment about them peaking in their career. You're talking more about their shot synergy peaking, the way they play. Listen, this is on the up and up. Like, it's already on the way up, because like Jakob's not been back, not even a week. And they're already showing like this is like old school, like we remember this, and everything is coming back to us really quickly. And the thing about that is that they're so smart. All three of those guys involved in this triangle of Pascal, Fred, and Jakob, that they're going to really discover even more crazy ass ways to play off each other. And they'll do it in a way like where they don't even have to see each other. Like, in some ways, they have eyes in the back of their head when they're playing with each other. Like Fred, Jakob, and Pascal really know each other well. And they're all like, I'm telling you, Poeltl's going to make them be so much better for the rest of the season. We're going to see them shoot better, have high efficiency, and just really going to be more efficient. And the crazy thing is that Nick's been distracted and he's gone. And he hasn't really, like Adrian Griffin said this yesterday in the interview after practice. He said, we can't wait to see Nick come back and work his magic with the new team, with Jakob on it. And that we really haven't had Nick come in and institute things specifically with Jakob that we can really capitalize on his size and strength in ways to help us win. And that when Nick comes back, as Adrian put it, he can't wait to see him work his magic. That's a direct quote from Adrian Griffin's mouth. So, yeah, I'm excited about it, Mark. We can expect the Raptors to shoot way, way better than they did so far this season now. They're going to shoot way higher, and they're going to correct some of the horrible shooting from earlier this season. And their overall average for the whole year is going to go up. And we'll make it look better than being in the bottom like feeders of the shooting percentage that we've been for the whole year. We're going to actually do that well, that it's going to raise it up, and we're going to end up higher overall in the league for shooting percentage, because we're just going to shoot better for sure right now. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. Ready for that revenge tonight against the Magic. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Let's get it, Raptors. Don't fuck around. Like, against Detroit and Utah, you did something that I like to say sometimes. Don't play with your food, Raptors. You're playing with your food. You're dinosaurs. You're supposed to seize and eat. And I see you guys sometimes out there when you're playing these teams, you're lackadaisical and you're playing around with them. Don't play with your food. Fucking go out there cutthroat and kick their ass and get a 20-point lead and just fucking bury them. Don't play around with these teams. You get a lead, keep adding to it. Don't let them start coming back on you. You need to stop playing with your food, Raptors. Take this very seriously and don't fuck around. Be very serious, Scott. You got to have Mamba mentality, all 48, Mr. SB4. So get that Mamba mentality and don't play with your food. Seriously, just beat their ass and don't fuck around. Monique is saying, good morning, everyone, and happy game day. Raptors in the 9th seed. Yes, Monique. We love you, Monique. And yes, so happy to see that. Let's keep rising and climbing. Raptors, let's keep going. Now, let me do a reaction to the 905 game yesterday, since the Raptors 905 did play yesterday, and I got a box score in front of me. They lost to the Westchester Knicks yesterday. And it's really disappointing because they jumped out all over them in the first quarter. They had like a 22-6, 22-4 lead at the beginning of the game, and they were absolutely destroying them. At the end of the first quarter, it was 31-14 for the Raptors 905. Well, by the end of the game, they ended up losing by 9 points. What the fuck happened, Eric Curry? Well, in the second half, they killed us. In the third quarter, they killed us. And then we just never caught up. There was a particular guy on the Westchester Knicks that was on fire, Jeffries. He had 37 points and shot 14 of 21. They did not do a good job of finding him and stopping him. So 905, really poor effort last night. Also on their bench, they had this weird center named Skapazev, Sev or something like. He was an asshole. He was talking shit to Christian Coloco yesterday when he was a big center too. And he's a little bit thicker than Christian, a little bit taller, to be honest. And he made a move on Christian, and then he did the little short thing to him. He did the thing like people in the league are doing, the taunt, the saying you're too small. He did that shit to Christian last night. This backup center for fucking New York that's on Westchester. That idiot. I hate this guy already. He's cocky. He's a piece of shit. This ship. I'm just going to call him Ship a Shit or something like that. I don't know what his fucking name is. I don't even want to know how to pronounce it. It's just this big, arrogant European center, and I'm going to call him Ship a Shit because he was being an asshole a lot of different ways. He was cocky and he was talking shit. And he wasn't even that good, honestly. Koloko got a lob dunk on his head a little bit after he did that little, like, you're small thing to him. And then he fucking dunked it on his head off a lob from Ron Harper Jr. But yeah, I didn't like seeing that shit. That guy was cocky. And Koloko was kind of getting, like, they were kind of being an ass to him, honestly. I hate that they won the Knicks because I really wanted us to win. But Koloko is the player of the game for the Raptors 905. He had 18 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 4 of 7 from the line, 1 of 2 from the three, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 blocks. Very solid game by Koloko. The leading scorer for the 905 yesterday, Christian Koloko led the way at 18 points. My other 2 stars of the game, Gabe Brown has been on fire recently. 6 of 10, 4 of 8 from 3, 16 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Just another great game by Gabe Brown. I'm really proud of Gabe. He honestly, a lot of people are calling out that the Raptors need to bring him up because his 3-point shooting is on track, bro. His 3-point shooting is fabulous right now. And everybody's saying if they see Gabe Brown go to another team from our 905, they're going to be pissed because they're like, why aren't we fucking grabbing him and bringing him to our team? Because we really need what he does well. It's interesting. I wonder about this because Gabe Brown does look like an NBA player to me. And he looks like he may be, like, hopefully he's still in our organization next year because I'd love to invite him to training camp again next year and see if he can actually make our roster. Because I think he might be able to, because he's looking more and more towards looking like he's NBA ready. Sterling Brown was the 3rd star, 11 points, 5 of 10 from the field. He had some nice stat stuff, and he had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a block. Those are my 3 stars of the game for a losing effort for the Raptors 905 against Westchester Knicks. Christian Koloko, Gabe Brown, and Sterling Brown are my game guys of the game. The other people to note, Jeff Doughton was okay, 5 of 11 from the field, 14 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, and a block. He did have 5 turnovers, though. Ron Harper Jr., 10 points, 3 of 10, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. Ron had a little bit of an off game. He didn't really exert himself like he did in the first game when Dad was at courtside. And then Hawkins, 9 points. He only hit 1 3, but he's continuing to start for the 905, which is very interesting. He did get 3 steals. So he's working his ass off. That really is the reason why Ryan Hawkins is getting a start right now. He is working his ass off. Reggie Perry continues to really shoot really badly, and he was the worst plus minus on the team. He's a minus 14 with 15 points. I hate seeing that Reggie has been so ineffective. And this is part of the reason why he's not in the NBA, y'all, because he needs to clean up his shit. He is not very fundamentally good in some ways. And if you just do a couple things better, Reggie, you might be in the NBA, but you are not doing it exactly right. And that's why. So, yeah, there's your 905 game from yesterday in a nutshell. I fucking hate motherfuckers talking shit to Christian Koloko. This man's already been through too much this season with that Caleb Martin bullshit in Miami, having to pay technicals and all the confusion of that. This guy's a nice guy. Why are you being a dick? Fucking backup center, like 5th center on the Knicks organization, ship a shit, fucking asshole. All right, Isaac Campbell's here. Poeltl averages 2.3 personal fouls on his career and is averaging twice as many fouls now as a Raptor. Only time he fouled out all year was as a Raptor. That's exactly right. And that is by design. So get used to it. He's going to get in foul trouble. And you know what? In some ways, that actually may be good. If we can time him with a foul trouble to, then we don't have to worry about hack-a-shack at the end of the game because he's fouled out already. And they can't just foul him and put him on the line to fuck us up on the offensive end late in the game. So I don't know. They're going to figure out how to game this the right way. But I don't know. Poeltl has been taught not to foul, but he's switching it. And that's the thing. That's the part that's going to be hard for him to change is that he's installed impulse in him to impulsive decisions, split-second decisions that he doesn't actually think. He trains himself to do those impulse in the right second, in the split second. And now he has to kind of go against what he programmed himself to do with Popovich here. So it's like he's going against some instincts that he would have had if he was still a Spur, while he's playing as a Raptor. So that's an interesting thing for y'all to know about what Poeltl's doing and the difference between him playing for us and the Spurs. Troy Henry saying, just happy we're in the play, and it's a good chance we're going to make it to the playoffs. I'm looking at 8 winning straight. Ooh, I'd love to go streaking and get 8 straight. That'd be fun. It'd be great if we could consistently win games. And that means beating teams that are not very good and beating teams that are very good. That we have to do this. If we want to get an 8-game streak, we got to beat both kinds of teams because there's a lot of good teams. And right now we got to stretch with teams that are easier to beat, but we need to take care of them so that we can get good inertia and momentum when we do get back on the other side of the All-Star break and we're playing the New Orleans Pelicans. That's a team that's we're going to need to be a little bit more up for compared to these teams we're playing right now. So, yeah, I'm all about everything you're saying, Troy Henry. We get an 8-game win streak. That'll be really helpful for sure. Callie's here. I'm excited and hoping for the win. Really love to blow them out. I would love that too. We don't need your stress meter to be doing anything tonight. We need things to be just consistently. The Raptors are on top. Nobody's coming back and trying to come at us or anything like that. That was part of the problem for the Raptors 905 yesterday. They had such a good lead, and the Knicks just chipped at it for 3 quarters after the first, and they beat them by the end. They had such a good lead. They had no business losing that game. The Westchester Knicks announcers had already said in the first quarter, well, I guess this game's already over, and they had waved the white flag and said, yeah, the Knicks are going to lose this game. Well, they were pleasantly surprised by the end that they did come back and win, and that sucks. The 905 should have capitalized and stopped them. So they're just a mid team at this point. They're 9-8 or something, 9-7. It's just not good enough. Let's see. And that's not going to get them in the playoffs. There's so many teams above them in the Eastern standings in the G League that they need to get up higher in the standings or you ain't going to get a fucking playoff spot 905. So you got to take care of games like the game last night. That was a fuck up. Y'all shouldn't have lost that game. They do have one more game before the All-Star break. I believe it's tomorrow. So we'll be previewing them tomorrow, also reacting to the Magic game. So let's see. Sheer Khan saying, I like Adrian coaching the Raptors. Same schemes and all that, but from a different perspective. Going to make him closer to the players and help team building culture. You know, Griffin's going to be a coach for another team. He's had chances at different times. And, you know, I think that he really loves working with Nick. In some ways, he's not too antsy to go and get another job and be his own head coach. And it's really kind of good that we do have him around. I mean, this is the thing. We have one of the 2 coaches in the league that are doctors, Dr. Adrian Griffin and Dr. Nick Nurse. They are literally doctors. They got their degrees in the last 2 years as being like a doctorate in sports management or sports leadership or something like that. I think that's what their degree is in or something. But yeah, they're doctors. And we want to have the 2 doctors in the league. The only other doctor, I think, was Dr. Jack Ramsey in the history of the NBA of coaches that actually are doctors and have doctorates. So that is pretty special that the only 2 coaches in the whole entire NBA right now that have doctorate degrees are on our coaching staff. So I like that. You know, he is doing Nick's stuff. He's not coming in with his philosophies or how he would do the team. He's just basically it's like it's Nick's car. He's just driving it while he's away. And that it's not that he's making any changes. Now, the things he has an impact on are the timing of the rotations and who he's bringing in. He talked about it with the media yesterday that he got a lot of feedback from the players and the other coaches about how he coached the game, because this is important to him, apparently, is getting feedback on how he can improve coaching. So he went and talked to all of them about, well, what did I do and what did I do wrong? And I think that one of the critiques they had was maybe playing too many bench guys at once, which was my critique of him yesterday. And he said he learned things about it. And he talked about playing Delano in the last game and why he did it. He said partly is because Delano was looking really good in the practice the day before and that he wanted to reward him. This is the thing we got to realize. Sometimes when we see guys sit on the bench and they don't get to play, a lot of it has to do with what happened in practice the day before. It could be that they see them not working as hard in practice and they want to send a message. It could be that they were shooting the lights out and doing amazing, and that's why they did get to play. But he was saying that Delano had a really good practice on Saturday, and that's why he got to play on Sunday. And the thing that he really liked about Delano was how aggressive he was. So I was right. They really are crafting him as not as totally as a point guard, but as a scoring shooting guard also. and that he has a green light to take as many shots as he wants. They're not mad at him for going 1 for 5 on Saturday. They were very happy with it, actually. So it's a different contrast, maybe in his demeanor on the court. He's definitely not. He's. I know he's just as vocal, maybe, but he's definitely not as loud and not as like emotional when he's coaching. So that's a different side of things for sure. Speaking of this, let's go ahead and do the ref report since we're talking about the coaches. Well, the coaches have to deal with the refs. And let's see who we got today for Orlando. Tonight's crew chief is Ben Taylor. Ben Taylor is one of our favorite refs in the league. He has been kind of mean to us this season at times, but for the most part, Ben Taylor is on the up and up, and I do trust him. He lives in Orlando at this point. He lives in Orlando. He's coaching. He's refereeing for the Orlando game. But he is from Tennessee. He's actually a Tennessee boy. But his favorite TV show is The West Wing. He loves that movie with Kevin Costner where he builds a baseball field out in a cornfield, and some spirit comes and tells him, if you build it, they will come. You know that movie, Field of Dreams. He also likes Brian McKnight. His favorite book is Mitch Rapp series. He likes to go. He wants to go to Scotland, and he wants to play golf at Augusta National. And he's a very good dancer, apparently. Now, Ben Taylor is the Sonic drive-through guy. He likes cheeseburgers and tater tots. So he's very simple and easy for the food, Tom Duke. So there you go. Ben Taylor is our number one ref today. And we win 64% of the time when Ben is around. We won our last game that he refereed this season. And the Orlando Magic win 48% of the time. So 64-48 is the split for the Raptors with Ben Taylor as the crew chief. And I love that. It's really good that he's in charge. Because the other guys we got this week today are not totally the best. We got Rodney Mott in the second spot. He is number 26 season as a ref. He's the old head on the ref crew today. He lives in Las Vegas, but he is from New Albany, Indiana. He went to San Diego State University, class of 86, and he went to high school in Buffalo, New York. So he's lived a little bit of all over the place. His favorite TV show is Blackish. His favorite movie is that one where Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman are in prison and they're trying to get out. Yeah, that's right. You know the movie Shawshank Redemption. His favorite musician is, let me think of a good song. There's I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. Yeah, I do. I just called to say I love you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Of my heart. Of my heart. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, I had to do that. It's Valentine's Day, and he loves Stevie Wonder. So why not sing I Just Called to Say I Love You? It's Valentine's Day. Why not? All right, let's see. Who else? He wants to go to Jerusalem. His hidden talent is interior design. So Rodney Mott, I never would have picked that you could have picked how my room should look in here. You know, my mom's into interior design. It'd be fun for Rodney Mott to talk with my mother about interior design. Now, Rodney Mott is also a U.S. Navy veteran with 3 years of active duty and 3 years in reserve. So he's in the Navy, y'all. In the Navy. All right, let's see. Rodney Mott has not refereed a game for us this season, guys. This is really weird. I thought we had seen him, but we had not seen him yet this season. This will be his first game reffing us for this NBA season. We win 46% of the time when Rodney's around. He's the worst ref for us today. And the Orlando Magic win 48%. So he actually favors the Magic, Rodney Mott. 46-48 is the split for him. The third ref is a ref we had yesterday for the 905. The crew chief of the 905 game was John Connolly. Well, he's just staying in Toronto, and he's going to go ahead and ref the Raptors game tonight, too. He is from Orlando. Ooh, we got two refs that live in Orlando that are reffing this game with us against Orlando. And he's really Orlando guy, John Conley. He's born in Orlando. He lives in Orlando. He went to whole high school in Orlando. He went to college at University of Central Florida, which is in Tampa. technically. But he is pretty much an Orlando boy, and I don't like this. This ain't no good that the referee is from the other city. His favorite TV show is Even Steven. He also likes Michael Jackson. He wants to rock with you. His favorite book is Be the Pack Leader. His favorite meal is potatoes and pasta. So we got to get him some potatoes and pasta. Rodney Mott has vegetable stir fry as his food, Tom. So we got a cheeseburger, tater tots, a vegetable stir fry, and potatoes and pasta is on the menu today. The favorite movie of John Conley is that one with Jim Carrey and what's his name? Jeff Daniels. And they get a car that looks like a dog, and they're absolute idiots. And they wear like really funny colored suits. I think y'all know what movie I'm talking about. It's Dumb and Dumber. That's right. John Conley's favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. He'd most like to visit Australia. He'd like to skydive in Dubai. And his hidden talent is dog training. He is like a Caesar Millan. His first experience as a referee was officiating games with his mother. That's right. We said that yesterday. So John Conley, historically for the Raptors, we win 63% of our games. So he's a very good percentage. We won the last game that he refereed. And meanwhile, listen, he may not have favoritism for Orlando, even though he's from there. They only win 33% of their games when he's there. So they win 1 out of 3 games when he's around. So that's it. 63-33. Split for the Raptors with Orlando-born John Conley. So we can't say that he's going to favor Orlando because he's from Orlando, because the stats say he doesn't. So there you go. There's your ref report. Ben Taylor, Rodney Mott, and John Conley. Those are our refs tonight. Well, I don't hate this crew. Ben Taylor's a not bad ref. We will see if he's doing somewhat of a hit job, though, and he can do a hit job. I've seen him do them before. But I don't think he will. I think that he'll play this one straight up. Rodney Mott's a pretty good ref overall. He's cantankerous and ornery, but he is experienced. And for the most part, I get vibes of him being a nice guy. But let's see how he treats the Raptors tonight. And we'll see if the refs are good or not. We'll have to see. All right, Logical saying the non-religious definition of fanatic, a person who is extremely interested in something to a degree that some people find unreasonable. I love it, Mike. We're really getting into etymology today. Fiercey saying, sending good vibes to Coach Nurse. Also happy we're progressing in the rankings. Yes, Fiercey Salsera sending her love on this Valentine's Day to Coach Nurse, and whatever he's dealing with is none of our business. If it's divulged to us in the later on, we find out why he's been away now. It's up to them. Maybe we'll find out someday. But yeah, people may feel really bad about things, especially you, D.Thorpe, you piece of shit. Yeah, your carcass down in the bottom of the river now because Masai got you, Godfather style. Bam, you're down and gone. Boom, you're out of here, D.Thorpe. And yeah, Pascal, you can't work with him anymore. I'm sorry. He is not okay to work with because he is lips that are loose, and they are not a part of the Raptors organization. You got loose lips? You get the fuck out of here, D.Thorpe, talking your shit on your podcast. Yeah, we ain't working with you no more. Monique saying, hated the third quarter for the 905. Let's go WNBA Toronto. And yes, it was the 10th anniversary of the Open Gym. I can say Mo Pete was the special guest. Can't wait for Hustle Play now, Lex. Rico Hines, eh? Yeah. All right. This is good. I love this. Monique has reminded me of a really cool thing that happened yesterday that I noticed. The latest Hustle Play was taped yesterday, and the guest is going to be Rico Hines. We're going to get an episode of Chris Boucher's Hustle Play talking to Rico Hines, y'all. This is going to be off the chain. If there's no filter, oh my gosh, what are they going to talk about? I want to hear what Rico has to say with no filter. Maybe he'll be cussing. Maybe he'll be telling us exactly how he really feels about all kinds of stuff. That is just what Hustle Play with Chris Boucher is like. There's no filter here. We're real here. And if Rico Hines is coming in to be real with Chris, I'm here for it. I want to see what these men said yesterday on that tape with Mike Roach. And I can't wait for Hustle Play to drop with Rico Hines as his guest. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Being a Raptor freak, this is the best time to be a Raptor freak. All kinds of good stuff coming up. Cool. So Mo Pete was at the Scotiabank also yesterday. And Monique, were you a part of this also? I'm wondering, you're saying you're a part of stuff, but maybe you're a part of this too. Is the 10th anniversary of Open Gym. Okay, this illuminates things a little bit more, that they were celebrating their own show as the 10th anniversary. So we're going to get an Open Gym episode. It's about Open Gym. I love it. It's like a box in a box in a box in a box. I love it. And yes, WNBA Toronto, please, right away. Can we order that up real fast? All right, let's see. Daddy Gates is saying, can we get some time from Jeff Dowtin Jr., please? All right, I'm going to say this. Jeffrey is a very sound and capable, fundamental, steady, consistent player. But recently, he has not been as steady or consistent as he was a couple months ago. He is taking a lot of shots that are ill advised. He's turning the ball over. He's not playing as sharp as he was at the beginning of the season. I'm really watching them on 905, and he's not playing as well right now. Now, he got minutes more earlier in the season because he was playing really super well. But right now, he's a little, he's like one game on, one game off kind of thing going on right now. But I still want to see him get more for sure on the Raptors level. But just so you know, he's not playing as consistent right now as he was before. Seymour saying, let's go Raptors. That's right, Seymour Pay. Bam, bam, bam. Nako the Nacho is here. Good morning to Nako. Good job to Justin Champagny for scoring 43. Start Boucher. I think our best matchup for the first round of the playoffs is Miami. All right, Gerald, let me take this apart here. All right, I don't give a shit what Justin's doing. See, Sioux Falls Skyforce, he's playing in the G League. And, like, you know what? He should be the best player on his team. You know, he needs to go and do that to get his career back in the NBA. He has to dominate on the G League level, or he won't get a full-time NBA jobs. But good for him, Justin. I won't be a hater. But yeah, I expect him to get 43. He's the number one guy on that team. He should be doing that shit. Start Boucher. Okay, yeah, I could get behind that. It seems like that might be what happens, but maybe not. Maybe he really values that energy burst coming off the bench, and it may be Thad instead. I think our best matchup is Miami in the first round. I disagree. I think that we're going to match up the best with Cleveland. Honestly, we already beat their ass, and we match up so good with them. We take away some of their best things, and we hurt them for other things. So I'd like to see Cleveland in the first round, ideally. In some ways, I'd rather see Philadelphia than Miami also. You know, you're dealing with, Miami in a way is kind of a fake playoff contender. They really aren't built to go far in the playoffs. They don't have enough depth. They don't have enough size. They have the venture guile and the smarts, but they really don't have some of the things they need to get long legs going deep into the playoffs. So I have no faith in them. And in some ways, I could see why you'd think they'd be a good opponent for us. But in some ways, they're not because of Lowry, Butler, and Adebayo. So I don't know. I wouldn't say Miami is, but I know Cleveland is. Cleveland is definitely the best opponent for us in the first round because we will kick the shit out of the Cavs. They can have this season and feel so good about themselves and then get put out in the first round by the Raptors. That would be fun. That would be so fun. Tom Duke saying Joe and his wife both played for Iowa. Wonder if we get it going. Will WEEZY open up his barrels of syrup? That's right. Joe Wieskamp is actually married to another basketball player, and she was very good too. She was a collegiate player in Iowa also. And yeah, just some nice, wholesome pictures of them, and they're being a couple out there of them. And yeah, I would like to see Joe WEEZY get to go out there and open it up a bit and hit some threes. He could very much help the layers of maple syrup lead that we need to get. 100% Canadian maple syrup lead. Build that layer thick. Raptors. Don't fuck around with the magic. Don't play with your food. Get a double-digit lead and try to add to it as the game goes on. Don't let them shrink it. You want to pile on them and just fucking kill them and put them away. Blow them out. That's what we want. These people are saying here they want to blow out Raptors. So serve it up to order, please. And don't play with your food. Yeah, I'm all about that. Fun guy saying you hit it right on the spot with Mo Bamba. He was the difference because remember we blew out Orlando and Toronto without Bamba and lost 2 straight to them after. That's another good point Fun guy brought up. I remember Bamba being the X factor, but he's right. In the first game when we played them here in Toronto, we beat them, and partly because Bamba was on the injured list at that time. I'm going to be very curious to see the absence of Mo Bamba and Terrence Ross, how they hurt them, because honestly, Terrence Ross was their only scorer off the bench. He was the only capable guy that would come in and make a lot of shots. Remember, Terrence would come in and hit a bunch of threes and be very annoying. Well, he's gone. He's not there anymore. And a lot of Magic fans, listen, the Magic fans celebrate Terrence just like we do. Terrence Ross is a storied person in our history in the Raptors. He's a dunk champion, and he was a big part of our team 10 years ago. And now he's been in the Magic for a few years, and they love him there too. When he was leaving, so many Magic fans are saying, you're one of my favorite Magic players of all time, Terrence Ross. And they call him the Human Torch. So there's so much love and affinity for Terrence Ross in Orlando because you're seeing the love being given to him on his exit. So yeah, really interesting stuff about that. And I know why you love him, Orlando, because he can dunk and he hits threes, and he's just an exciting player. And we loved him too when he was on our team also. So yeah, we'll share him with y'all's fan nation for sure. He is both a Raptor and a Magic legend, Terrence Ross. That's right. All right, let's keep going. Trevor's here. Good to see Trevor J. New name in the comments, and 9:30 every morning. Love listening to you, man. You talk the true talk. Thank you, Trevor. And please add to my true noise. If you have truth you want to speak, you can always come here and have an outlet, and I will amplify it with my own voice by reading it. But I appreciate you, Trevor, and I hope you continue listen, because we have all kinds of fun stuff we do on here. If you are really a Raptors fan, this is the channel for you. G's saying, yes, let's get some WEEZY tonight. Yeah, it'd be cool to see Joe WEEZY out there. Orlando's a little bit of a lesser opponent. We maybe could afford to put him out there. Adrian, play Joe Wieskamp today. We want to see him get a look out there. Maybe he can have a three-point shootout with Franz and see who's the better three-point shooter between Wieskamp and Wagner. W versus W. Callison would love to see Chris start. He has earned it. Yeah, in some ways, that is kind of what they could do. They could say, you've been working so hard. We want to give you a reward. You're getting to start. And that may actually be how they decide who starts today. I don't know. We really going to have to monitor to see who starts. Now, these guys are questionable. Doesn't mean they're not going to play. That very well could be that Gary or Precious does show up and plays anyway, after all. They're not totally ruled out, just so you know. Shere Khan saying, how about starting WEEZY for shooting and keeping rest of the rotation as is? Maybe get a couple of threes in the first quarter. That's not a bad idea. That's really thinking out of the box. It's kind of a very different thing for Joe Wieskamp to prepare for. Is like all of a sudden he shows up the arena today and Adrian's saying, you're starting tonight. Whoa, I go from maybe I'm not probably going to play to you're starting. Yeah, he would probably get excited about that. I'm not against a weird idea like that. Sometimes I like doing really crazy, like out of the blue kind of ideas, and it would really maybe throw the other team off. And if he actually really did bomb a bunch of threes, oh man, it'd be awesome. Seymour saying, what's going on with that Wiseman trade? Is it void? No, it's really weird what happened with that 4-team trade with Gary Payton II failing his physical. Well, you know what? The Warriors have decided to just eat it, and they don't even care. In fact, they're talking about suing Portland for lying to them about what he was taking for his injuries, because basically why he failed his physical is he was taking a substance that's kind of on the, I don't know if it's on the banned substances list, but it's something that's kind of weird. And that is part of the reason why he failed his physical. And that Golden State's mad at Portland for not disclosing the details of what he's been going on with him, and that they're going to sue the Trailblazers in a lawsuit over this. But if the deal had not gone through, there was going to be money that was going to be lost, and there was going to be a penalty anyway. So in some ways, I think the Warriors just went ahead and let the deal happen, even though the physical was failed by Gary Payton II. So it's a weird situation. It has gone through now. So Wiseman is officially with the Pistons at this point, and they just ate it. They just ate it up. There's problems, and they're like, well, fuck it, we'll just eat it. Is what Golden State did in some ways. That's why they decided to do it anyway, because it's such a mess, and they didn't want to backtrack on everything. They decided, you know what, this is not right, and technically this would void the deal. But you know what, we don't care. We need to just have this deal happen. And that's kind of what happened. It's really weird, Seymour. Really weird. Apparently it's going through. Yeah, they're going to force it through, even if technically the NBA probably wouldn't want them to do that because of the rules. They're going to force it through. It's kind of like they're overlooking that he failed his physical is basically what's happening. G saying, what do you think of the nickname Scotty, the Vision Barnes? The Vision, like the superhero, the green guy, the android that's living with the witch. I don't know. There's so many good nicknames. I'm really big on the SB4th right now. I think that Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong are angling to get this to be one of his nicknames because of his fourth quarter work recently, and that they really want to be Scotty 4, because it goes with his number. And if he's going to become some sort of fourth quarter takeover guy, Scotty 4th may be getting close to being his nickname. I still like Mr. 94 feet because of the way he was full court pressing and really picking guys up all full court. And that nickname, I tried it on him. He didn't totally hate it. But there's been a lot of people giving him nicknames, and it's funny in the Twitch when they would give him nicknames, he would reject them or be kind of like, he would kind of do that when we'd suggest them to him. So I don't know. I think that his nickname on his game is Scottier Diamonds. So if you really want to nickname him what he's nicknaming himself, it's Scottier Diamonds. That's his nickname, Diamonds, Mr. Diamonds. So I don't know. But the vision, I don't know. That might be a little bit too bland, is what I'll put it. The vision. I don't know. I really like Scotty Fourth, though. And if they're going to push that on the broadcast, that's probably what's going to be is Scotty Fourth. And especially if he's winning games in the clutch, he'll get that nickname, earn it for real. Let's see. Where did it jump to? It jumped and I saw, I think it's okay, here it is. Okay, Monique saying, why always rely on the 905? Yes, they shoot the 3 to try and get back in the game late, and they need to go to the basket. There's some things they're not doing very well in some ways on that level, and I don't like it. The fact that Koloko was the leading scorer is a bad sign. He should never be the leading scorer. There's so many other guys on that team that should have stepped up and got over 20 points. Sterling Brown, Jeff Dowtin Jr., Ron Harper Jr., Reggie Perry, Sterling Brown, Gabe Brown. I'll just keep naming you guys. Sterling Brown. Sterling Brown, he can score. Let's see. Daddy's saying it's a discipline issue with Gabe. He has a bit of an issue with instruction, but yes, he has a nice jumper. Well, maybe this is the thing. Let's keep him around, see if he matures. If he can mature in the next couple of years, maybe he can be a good pro. That's interesting. I didn't know that about Gabe. You know, he was in training camp, and I thought he did really good then. So maybe we can bring him back to training camp next year. Maybe he has an even better shot to actually make the roster next fall. So we'll have to see. I've got my eye on Gabe. I actually made a piece about him last summer when we got him, and I had analyzed him, and I said I'd already picked him. I said, this guy's going to be in the NBA someday because I can tell he's got the chops, he's got the height, and he's going to be in the NBA. I did a whole piece on that last summer before we even started this season. It's like, this is an NBA player, and someday he will be in the NBA. Nako's saying the Warriors probably should have met the Raptors asking price for OG. Not that I'm trying to imply I don't want OG on the team. Nako, I'm not going to backtrack and do a woulda, coulda, shoulda with any kind of deals that are out there. We've heard that OG was offered for 3 first rounds from Memphis. Memphis is going to send us 3 first-round picks for OG. Fuck that shit. We don't do this shit. We don't want to do this. We value OG. OG is very much in the family, and we are not moving him as much as everybody wants us to, whether it's our fan nation or the other teams in the league. He's not for sale, and he's not available. This is obvious because there's all kinds of crazy offers that were sent to Toronto for him, and Masai said no. So he very much values keeping OG here. And I'm just not going to talk about this. The trade deadline's over. Let's stop fucking talking about shit like this, Gerald. Seriously. We're talking about the basketball and what we're playing on the court. I don't give a shit about personnel moves anymore. We're talking about what's going to happen on the court because we talked about this so much in the 2 weeks leading up to the trade deadline. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's over. Let's stop. G's saying injury report. OG and Otto out. Gary and Precious game time decision. That's right. Game time decision, questionable. We'll see what happens. Tom, it's Precious, his ankle. As I said earlier, he stepped on it funny in the Detroit game. You could see him kind of hobbling on it on a trip back down the court and kind of walking weird on it. I noticed it. And I was like, fuck, I hope Precious is not hurt. And well, he was. And that's why it's his ankle. Let's see. Don't forget Doc Rivers. Well, Doc is not actually a doctor. That's a nickname. And you know how he got it, Fiercey? Doc Rivers got the nickname Doc because when he was young, his name was Glen Rivers, right? And he was playing in Marquette, and he played in high school. He wore this suit, this jumpsuit that had a Dr. J jumpsuit. So everybody was making fun of him, started calling him Doc. Hey, there's Doc, because he's wearing a Dr. J like clothes. And they're like, oh, you're Doc. Hey, it's Doc. And it's stuck. That's the whole reason why his nickname is Doc, is because he wore Dr. J jumpsuit. And everybody's like, hey, it's Doc. It's Doc. And now that's just his nickname forever since. It's silly and stupid. It has nothing to do with him going to school. It has to do with him wearing clothes. Fun guy saying, what's wrong with Gary anyways? And Precious surprisingly popped up injured too. Gary's injury is actually from a couple games ago. It's his calf. He has a calf strain. And that could be any kind of think about the times that Gary's been hitting the floor hard. He goes to the basket and you see him like horizontal with the floor and like he's landing on his back and stuff like that. So he has a left calf strain. I know that doesn't have usually to do with falling and stuff, but he's been getting beat up a bit. You can see Gary out there taking hard hits and he's not complaining. He's not fucking like showing that he's hurt, but he is on the down low. He's a very tough guy. And yeah, he it's his calf is what he's saying. So let's see. Precious again. Why can't he stay healthy? Maybe we're using him wrong. He's not a center. You know what? Listen, the NBA injuries are just going to happen. You're going to have to knock on wood and hope that you just don't have them. But they're going to have little nitpicky injuries and stuff like that. And they're smart. I don't think either one of these injuries for either one of these two guys is very serious. And it could be that we get them right back right as soon as they miss tonight, but they're back for New Orleans right away. So I wouldn't be too worried about these injuries. These are not serious injuries. They're nagging injuries, and there may be injuries that just need a little bit of short time right now, but they could be fine in like by Friday or Thursday of this week. So I'm not really worried about him. Yeah, it's his ankle. It's his ankle. Glen Rivers. Yeah, his name's Glen. You guys want to just call him Glen? Call him Glen. Tom's saying, thanks, G. I just figured his hand from cramming the ball. No, it's his ankle. I saw the play when it happened. I remember when it happened in the Detroit game, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, fuck. Because he hobbled a little bit up the court, but he did continue to play. So it's precautionary, probably. They don't want it to make it worse by putting him in a game time situation. Sometimes this is half of what it is. It's like, all right, you kind of got an injury already. Well, we don't want it to get worse, and we're holding you out as a precaution. That's kind of what this is. And it could be it's not very bad. It's just that they know if they play and there's risk, if it's already kind of hurt, to really make it more hurt, and then they miss even more time. So it's balancing risk reward with if you have a little bit of a nagging injury that could get worse because you play, then they want you to sit, especially at this point in time. Like later on, they may play through an injury like what they've got right now because the stakes are higher and it's the playoffs or something like that. But not right now. It's the middle of the season. We got to have precaution. Let's see. Yeah, you thought it was his hand from jamming it so much, Tom. Seymour saying, if Gary is out, we will get to see a drum roll, please. WEEZY camp. Maybe. We'll have to see. What this is next man up. We'll have to see where the minutes get filled with these guys missing. So we'll have to see how it goes. G saying, fun guy. Apparently, Gary's calf is strained. Something to do with his calf. Yeah, I did say this, guys. Seymour saying, do y'all see us picking up anyone at the buyout market? No, I don't. We're filled. We're full. We've got our full roster with Joe Wieskamp being that guy who came and filled in that last open spot. So, no, we're not going to go get anybody else unless we cut somebody and we add somebody that way. But I don't see it. I think we're pretty snug with our salary cap right now, that in some ways we don't have a lot of room to go and maneuver and do this stuff. So you may see people getting all these people on the buyout market right now and be like, why don't we do this? Oh my gosh, they just got T.Ross. Why don't we do this? Well, partly it's because of our salary cap being snug. And also that's not in the plans to get like a big name in the buyout market right now. That's not part of our plans. Obviously, we got Joe Wieskamp. That was the signal for me that we're not in the buyout market. Because we could have easily done that instead of getting Joe back. But we want Joe, apparently, instead of any of these old vets that got bought out. Nako saying we have a full roster. That's right. Logical saying calf stuff is tricky. It's easy to make it worse. Healing off of it is weird. Not going to lie. Rehab timeline isn't concrete. Well, let's wish the best for Gary, and hopefully he's back sooner than later. Seymour saying the ref is from Orlando. Yeah, but he doesn't help them, apparently. The two refs live in Orlando. What can go wrong? Actually, they may hate Orlando. Have you ever been to Orlando? It sucks. So maybe they secretly hate the place they live and they take it out on the team. The fix is in. I hope that's not true. I really do hope that's not true. All right, Tom's got the food out. He's got a cheeseburger and he's got a couple of potatoes. Those are the tater tots. He's just giving everybody potatoes this time. It's like a baked potato bar. You can get the sour cream, the chives, the bacon bits, or whatever else you like on your baked potato, because it's a baked potato bar today, obviously, that Tom's put out here. And it looks like he's got some sort of pita pocket, and there's some pasta too. Okay, good stuff. You feeding Rodney Mott, Ben Taylor, and John Conley. Let's see. Rico on Hustle Plays, must watch. Yeah, I want to see what when the filter is gone and there's hardly any editing and F-bombs can be dropped. I want to hear the real voice of Rico Hines some more in that setting and not just in the Rico Hines runs yelling at the guys in the summer. Daddy's saying the Cavs better hope we don't draw them in the first round. You're damn right. The damn right, because Donovan Mitchell ain't doing shit against us. He can tear up a whole bunch of other teams in his NBA, but Mitchell ain't got nothing on the Raptors. We will fuck him up. G saying, by the way, those clips of Gary at his event were so good. He is lively and full of personality in them. He did his Toronto man impression too. That's what I'm saying, G. The stuff with Lindsey Dunn and everything from the KFC bucket event last week was fantastic. It's why I feel really confident about Gary and how he feels about being in Toronto, is because he was just jubilant and very honest and very open with all the questions that were asked of him. I really loved him saying, I'm from Minnesota. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, and I don't give a shit about snow. I don't give a shit about weather. And that is not going to be a factor in deciding whether I want to stay in Toronto or not. That is a big thing. And then obviously he couldn't hide how happy he was that 3 o'clock passed and he was still a Toronto Raptor. He couldn't hide it. You could see it in all those clips from last Thursday under the overpass. But yeah, I'm glad you got to see some of those, G. And it's just a different Gary. He's not the same kind of Gary in some ways, because maybe the relief of the deadline passed and he could be a little bit more relaxed in what he was saying. So yeah, I love seeing that too. It really does bode well for us retaining him and him being in a Raptors jersey next year. Wayne's here. Spent the last 4 hours watching your last 3 days streams, and one fact about Jakob you stated was his 60+% shooting is in the top 5 in the league. We can run plays for him sometimes. Yeah, and he said that too. Like he said that he hasn't been really kind of the focal point of the offense for San Antonio, but at times he had to be, because they would be in so bad shape offensively. Jakob would have to step up and be like the man and score a lot of points. Like he would get like a 25-point game because they just used him and beat him over the head with using him in the low post with his size and strength. This is something like as an outlet at the end of the shot clock. If we're in trouble and we need a shot in the last 2 or 3 seconds, we can get it to him and he can put a shot up real quick, because most time the guy who's guarding him won't be tall enough to totally stop him. And he's really good with little short touch shots near the basket, and they're money. So that's why I was predicting he can help us with our offensive droughts. When we have these 5-minute periods where we don't score at all, he can fix that, because we can just go to him and he's money for a bucket. Yeah, I'm glad you went back and watched, Wayne. And this is something that seriously people don't realize about Jakob, is he's an easy bucket at any time if we really need him. It's like an emergency break-in case. So Logical saying, not gonna lie, I remember Bobo working us in those games and Big Yak's coming for him. It's gonna be fun. We're much better matched against them. We really did look short with them on the court when we were in Orlando. We looked way shorter than them overall. And I think in some ways it's a little bit more evened up with Bamba's exit and Jakob's return to Toronto. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. The Bigs matchup is going to be a highlight to watch tonight for sure. G saying the MLSE launch at the high school girls basketball team was great to see them bonding. It was bonding with the players, with themselves, and then with the young ladies, and being there and goofing around and playing games and just having fun. This is the kind of stuff the Raptors need, because it is vibes building. And it's so fun to see Jakob there smiling big as a part of the team. It just makes me feel real happy to see Jakob on our team again. In fact, in some ways, I haven't totally realized it. I'm still kind of dreaming about it, and you have to pinch me because it hasn't totally sunk in. Because in some ways, it's like it doesn't seem real in a weird way, because it's something we wanted for so long, and now it's happened. It's like, okay, I got to remind myself this has actually happened. We have Jakob Poeltl. Oh, pinch me. We got Jakob Poeltl. It's true. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, your pipes, I'm behind. You heard me singing the Stevie Wonder. Yeah. I feel like singing these days. It's funny how a big Austrian showing up on your basketball team and you have a center finally makes you feel like you want to sing. Forget was saying W.Lou has Thorpe on his show today. Oh my gosh. Anybody surprised? I cannot stomach Lou. All right, listen, y'all go and find out what they're saying on there, and we'll know right away whether this is toxic ass bullshit or not. And shame on you, W.Lou, for giving this guy more of a mouthpiece and more of a spotlight in our fan nation. If this is destructive or dangerous or negative in any kind of way, you're going to be dead to me, W.Lou, because you're putting out more and more of a really bad shit in some ways recently, and I'm not happy about it. And this would be the cherry on top. If you give a platform to D.Thorpe to spread more of his bullshit, yeah, I'm going to have a fucking problem with you, W.Lou. I'll still be okay with Alex Wong because his comedy stylings are insanely funny. But I might have a problem, because why are you guys bringing this hack artist, Alton Brown, this weird-ass cousin motherfucker, and putting him on the radio? It's a really bad move, guys. And I wish you wouldn't give hack artists, liars, a platform to fucking speak even louder. Yeah, big mistake, W.Lou. I'm very upset about this. It's not cool. It's not cool. Y'all watch it and you tell me just how bad it is tomorrow. I'm not going to watch it. I won't give them the views. And if this is true, I'm going to stop following W.Lou on Twitter, and I'm never, ever going to watch the Raptors show again. Because especially if he comes on there and clarifies things, and maybe he says something that's working in the right direction with how we care about the Raptors, then maybe I'll give it a second chance. But y'all suss it out and let me know. I'm not going to go there and look at it myself because I don't even want to see that guy's face or him talking. I'm so pissed off at him. Let's see. Monique saying, message to Alvin Williams, please take your time on returning back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What channel are they on tonight? Are they on Sportsnet? I don't know. Either way, Sherman's a great replacement for the time being. And Alvin, you take the time to, get to mourn and have your time to yourself with your family and stuff like that. You take all the time you need, Boogie Williams. We love you, and we're here and ready to enjoy your stories and your commentary when you come back. Your spot is still here. You take all the time you need to grieve your mother's passing. And we hate hearing that happened. Logical saying, say no to Bolway and say yes to Bolway. With the Golden State Warriors deal, if they didn't do it with the multiplier repeat luxury tax, not doing the deal would cost them an additional $35 million in luxury tax. Yeah, see, it was going to cost them either way. So they had to figure out how to do it and still get what they wanted. They didn't want to fuck up all the movement because they really don't want James Wiseman on the team. And they did want to do this and they wanted to do this. So, yeah, they had to just eat it and just make it happen no matter what. Logical saying in the Magic games we lost, Bobo was putting back like everything with Poeltl there. He won't be able to get inside position on Poeltl as much. If we win the boards, we win the game, just like last time. Yeah, I think that's true. That's a very good point to point out going into tonight. Let's win the boards, Raptors. Winning the rebound battle has been a calling card of ours in the past couple of years, and we need to do that tonight against a team that's very good at rebounding also. That may be part of the battle is the rebounds. Whoever wins the boards may win the game. So we need to win that. So Shir Khan saying Delano as a slasher is fantastic and awesome on the fast break. Can get to the hoop in only a few strides. That dude is long. Just focus on finishing around the rim. Can't worry about long range later. Yeah, he's actually a good three-point shooter too. He's okay. He's okay from every spot. He's not horrible at mid-range. He will stop and pop. But his real strength really is in the open court and coming quick with long strides, as you said, and getting to the rim very quickly. And also, he's not totally next to the rim. He has that extension arm that will get him the rest of the way to the rim, and his hand will be right next to the rim, even if his body's not always there, totally there. So it's good stuff. Randolph saying, good morning, most beloved, most informative Raptor Freaks gang. On this game day, let's get a very dominant win that reflects our team coming together. Yes, I love that. I love that. And Smooth Brown Man is here back again. Good to see you again, Smooth. We appreciate your presence. Greg is here. I love what the Magic have done since jettisoning Gordon, Vucevic, and Fournier. They have done a great job. I like that they kept T.Ross for accept your role culture for so long. Weltman is a strong, solid executive. Yeah, and he's from us. We had him here with us in Toronto before he went to Orlando. Yeah, he is a good executive. Orlando's a weird team. They've been mired in mediocrity and badness for a while, really since the mid-'90s. And, they have signs that, like Detroit, that they're going to turn the corner in the next couple of years with their young players. With this rookie this year, Paolo, he is a force, and we really need to beat his ass today. Here's a little bit of bulletin board fodder for the Raptors and Scotty Barnes in particular. Scotty, last week they had the Rising Stars draft, and they picked the Orlando Magic players over you, both of them. First Banchero and then Franz. And I thought that was so insulting. In some ways, Scotty, you can look at how Pau Gasol, Deron Williams, and Joakim Noah pick their Rising Stars teams and take it as a slight and take it out on the Magic tonight. Scotty, if you did this, I would love you so, so much. If you could get a chip on your shoulder and start being like Michael. Could you be like Mike? If you could be like Mike, I want you to be like Mike, and get pissed off because they slighted your ass at the draft for the Rising Stars, and the guys that they picked over you are on the other side tonight. So you fuck up Paulo and Franz because you want to show those guys who did that picking last week that they fucked up and didn't pick you first. That's what I want to see tonight. Yeah, you come out with a purpose tonight, Scotty, and show them they fucked up. You should have been number one, not Paulo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go Gadget Raptors here again. Good to see you, Go Gadget Raptor. Da-na-na-na-na. Go Gadget Raptor. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Woo-hoo. Jakob needs to get his fouls in check. 11 in 2 games. It's by design. I know you just showed up. We talked about this earlier. Jakob, after the game, or yesterday in practice, said he's going to get more fouls when he's with the Raptors because that is our defensive style, to be aggressive, to put our hands in there. You know, everybody's complaining we're using our hands too much. Well, we're supposed to. That's what Nick Nurse wants us to do. We get a lot of fouls on purpose because it's very much the defensive scheme that Nick Nurse is demanding of these guys. And that him fouling out of the game and it being the first game that he fouled out of all season is very much because of this. The opposite was happening in the Spurs. Greg Popovich wanted all the Spurs players to not foul and try as hard as possible not to touch guys and put them on the line. So this is the very big difference of why this is happening, Go Gadget. And it's not a bad thing. Honestly, I like our aggressive defensive style because it's the reason why we get all the turnovers. And a lot of times it's part of why we win the game. So we're going to have to see Jakob get fouls. It's just going to happen. It's going to naturally happen because of the style of our defense dictated by Nick Nurse. And somebody will say, well, I hate it. Why is he doing that then? Why is he always gambling and overplaying and then we get beat and stuff like that? Well, it's just how he's doing it. And it's worked to a degree. It worked way better last year. And this year it hasn't looked as good because it's not as solid all around at all 5 positions at all times. You can gamble, but if somebody doesn't have your back, you're fucked. And there's a layup behind you. So that's why people are having problems with it. But this is why Jakob's going to be flirting with fouling out every single game when we play him. This is exactly why. And he's very cognizant of it. And he kind of likes it, I think. I think he likes being more aggressive and physical in some ways. So it's not totally a bad thing. It's a symbol that he's being aggressive and he's getting after it because Nick Nurse told him to. Monique saying, Lex, you know how much I can't stand W.Lou. One of the reasons I stopped listening for how he ditched the Raptors. There you go. See, Monique, you know what? I was always standing up for him against you at times in the last year. Now I will not do that anymore. You were right all along, Monique, and I need to listen to you. Will, what are you doing, man? William Lou. If I see you in the arena, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna take you to the side. I'm gonna say I'm the Raptor freak, and I gotta talk to you for a sec, bro. There's some things you're doing with your show that I don't like. I don't like, bro. It's not helpful, bro. So there you go. We'll have to see. Greg saying at Monique, how did he ditch them? Well, I think that she's saying in general, he talks them down so often. Like he's not loyal to them. What happens is he'll get on his show, and if the Raptors are playing poorly, he's really good at being a critic. I don't have any problem with critiquing them. But at one point, it's like he gets glee out of talking shit about them being bad. And that's what she means when she means he ditches them. There's a difference between like being critical and talking about them not playing well and not doing things right, and then being snarky and making funny jokes, and then kind of having a little bit of glee in them not doing well. And that's what it is. Monique has pain when they're not doing well, like I do. Well, some ways W.Lou has joy when they're not doing well, and he acts a little bit like kind of weird in some ways. I think that's part of it, that she doesn't feel like he stands beside them. That the show may be called the Raptor Show, but that doesn't mean these motherfuckers are for the Raptors. So that's what I'm saying is like they're not real ones in a way. W.Lou is not a real one. Alex Wong might be, but I don't think W.Lou is. And that's Monique can suss them out. She knows. She can go and listen to somebody talk about the Raptors, and Monique can tell right away whether this person's a real one or not. In fact, she has the no bullshit detector on that. And that's basically the whole thing right there, is that Monique knows that he's not a real one, and that's the problem. Smooth saying, also known Reggie for all the positive moves for the Magic seem to have made. I'm still not sold on them. Think mid-90s Clippers. Well, I hope you're right, Smooth, because honestly, I don't want the Magic to rise up and be an Eastern Conference force. If they could stay mid and not totally super, super good, but there's some signs they really will, because they do have such a crop of very crazy good players with Franz and Paolo and some of those other guys. But you know what? I think they took a couple steps back with the trade deadline in some ways. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I hope you're right. I hope they do just stay mid and they're actually not kind of like becoming up into the top third of the Eastern Conference as their record. because we don't need more big dogs up there with us. We need to have some of those big dogs get fucked up, like the Nets just got fucked up recently, instead of teams below us starting to build up and come up too. Yeah, I like that. I hope they are like the mid '90s Clippers. I really do. That'd be a great place for Magic to be at. Mike saying the primary defensive philosophy of us is pressure, and the logic behind it is when the other team is on offense, we're so experienced at pressuring and trapping that we're effective at all the seconds. Yeah. Yeah, we really want to make them cough the ball up. They measure how many deflections, how many hands we get on the ball on purpose. So when people are complaining they're putting their hands in there too much, that's because they get stats and they get points after the game from the coaches for putting their hands in there. That is part of the report card. Okay, how many times did you get the ball, your hand on the ball when they had the ball? Oh, that's a very good mark, OG. And how many steals did you get? Okay, that's very good. This is stuff they're measuring them on and they want them to do. It's not something they're just telling them not to do. So, we put our hand in the cookie jar. Sometimes we get the cookies and we get away with them, but sometimes we get caught in the cookie jar. That's just the nature of it. That's just the nature of it. Tom's saying, I just go in there to battle Raptor Nation turds. They suck. Where's chat dominant idiots? Okay, so you go to the Raptor show and you said it's really bad in there like that? We'll keep fighting the good fight, Tom, dude. We appreciate you fighting the truth, the Project Truth for the truth. And David has got his cup out. That is his Raptor Freak Trivia Cup. He's got his championship out there. I love seeing it. Raptors 2023 NBA champions. Is that crazy sounding? Maybe. Is it possible still? Yes, it is. It is still possible. All right, let me go into the real mascot matchup. The last time we saw the Raptor, he's in the rocket car, and he just beat a funny car. He's like actually racing a funny car. It's a piston car, and they're racing down the road. It's just like a drag race. It's straight road, straight and narrow, and they're flying down. But he has a rocket car, and this is the Pistons car. It's like got a big engine with a lot of pistons and all kinds of stuff coming out of it. And he actually beats the piston car. He just barely beats it. It's very, very close, but he does beat him. And he's like they're riding so fast. There's a cop that actually like catches them on the radar and is like chasing them because they're drag racing at a very unlawful speed down this highway, and they're chasing them and they're trying to get away. And well, the piston car kind of goes off in another direction, but the cop decides to chase the Raptor in the rocket car. So he pulls the rocket car and the Raptor over in a Subway parking lot. Yeah, Subway, Bullway. Do it your way, Bullway, Scotty Barnes. But not Bullway. But yeah, Bullway. We're talking about Bullway. But anyway, he's in a parking lot of the Subway, and now the cop is going to try and arrest him for speeding and drag racing. But he's in trouble. He doesn't want to get in trouble. And the cop is coming to the window. What is going to happen? Will some magical thing happen to him so that he can like get out of being in trouble with the cops for racing down the road? What will happen? Some magical thing in the parking lot of the Subway to help the Raptor not get arrested for illegal street racing? We'll find out next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. I'll bet you never saw this twist and turn. The Raptor might be going to jail for racing. Oh my God. We'll hope that some magic will happen. Maybe Magic Bowlway will happen or something. I don't know. We'll find out next time. The Real Mascot Matchup. Yeah. Let's see. Greg's calling Tom Duke a cyberbully. How are you feeling today? Are you still trying to be like Jakob? Thanks for clarifying what you mean regarding W.Lou ditching. Tom Duke is not the bully. Tom Duke is the guardian of the honor and the respect of the Toronto Raptors franchise. Tom Duke is very much a Raptor Freak Illuminati, and he will go in there and do the right things and say the right things to protect the Raptors and keep them on course for the Holy Grail that is called the Larry O'Brien Championship. So, yeah, we are all working towards that here. And if W.Lou and the Raptors show and their chat is not working towards that, then fuck y'all. We are against y'all. We are against anybody who's in between us and getting more Larry O'Briens. That is just the philosophy of the Raptor Freak crew. And yeah, I don't think he's a bully. Tom Duke wants to be a bully. I'm okay with it because I trust his judgment as a human being that he's a very smart, nice person deep down. And if he's bullying somebody, they deserve it. Let's see. Mike's saying it's about getting better at grabbing the cookies and not getting caught. That's exactly right. OG is a clear example of this. This year, he's really started to nail down his swipe timing on steals, fouling less and stealing more. OG, Gary, Fred, we see all those guys smacking that ball out of there and getting it loose. And then we get going and running down the street. That another one. He does it too. Tom saying positional vertigo is a real thing. Thanks, Greg. I feel better knowing what it is. Positional vertigo. Whoa, I don't even know what that's talking about. Go Gadget saying, Lex, let's be honest. Laugh out loud. Who's the last team to finish below fourth in their conference to be crowned champions in the NBA? It's not hockey. Laugh out loud. And hate to say it, but this team isn't a chip contender. But I know, please don't crush my dreams. I mean, I just say it is realistically not maybe possible, but it is still statistically possible. You're never out until you're completely out. And who knows? The Raptors are such a weird team. They may be way better, like seriously, way, way better. I know that your standing and not having home court can all factor in your ultimate destination in the postseason. But you know what? You never underestimate the heart of a champion. Now, I'll say that from like Rudy Tomjanovich days. I'm just saying, seriously, anything's possible. And I really am positive about it. But you're probably right. It's not realistic this season for sure. But it could be very soon. It could be very soon. And it may be more likely in other sports that you can pick up inertia going into the postseason, like baseball or hockey or even football. And in basketball, that may not be the case. It's not as easy to have Cinderella stories from lower seeds and get really far. I totally agree with this in some ways, but I hate it because it's sad and it's kind of negative in a way also. I just want to dream. Monique saying Mo Pete was highlighting the event in his Instagram stories yesterday afternoon. Let's go Raptors. W Stream Lex, always keep at it and limit Paulo. Yeah, let's do a couple of keys of victory. I said earlier, let's beat them on the boards, Raptors. Don't fuck around. Don't play with your food. Let's jump out on them at the beginning of the game. Get that double-digit lead first. This is a very important battle, actually, because in the 3 games against Orlando, this determined kind of who would win. Who came out and started the game right and won the first quarter? Who got the double-digit lead first and had the other team playing from behind to coming back at them? That team usually wins, the one that jumps out on top at the beginning. So the starting the game tonight is very important against the Magic. Y'all need to beat them right away and not start slow. We can't afford a slow start against guys like Franz. They will get their shots and they'll start making them right away. So we need to be ready right away as soon as that jump ball goes and be scoring right away. Now, if we can win shooting battles against them, obviously we want to get more field goal attempts than them, have less turnovers. We will be fine. We will kick their ass. But these are important battles we got to win. The boards, the turnovers, and if we can shoot better than them or have more threes than them, that will really help us win tonight. So there's some keys to the victory for you real quick. Tom saying, I fight by believing. That bothers them so much. I've had vertigo, the sudden sensation that you're spinning or the inside of your head is spinning. This is something that I deal with sometimes. I get it from heights. I get vertigo from being up high and crazy. And I actually had a little bit of vertigo this weekend myself, Tom Duke. I got a little bit of it at that concert I went to this weekend. Yeah, I mean, I hope that is this what's ailing you right now as part of what's you're dealing with why you're sick and stuff. That sucks, man. I just hope you get better and better. Tristan saying, let's go Raps. And Isaac Kimball saying, let's go Tom. Yes, let's go Tom. Let's go Raps. And Mike saying, Rockets 95, 7th seed, Older Dream, Old Drexler, Kenny the Jet Smith, Big Shot Bob. That one I know for sure. Okay, so they were the 7th seed. I forgot that Rockets team then. Wow, that's pretty good. Greg saying, I trust Tom Duke as well, and I will look into remedies for positional vertigo so that he can dedicate even more of his time to policing the YouTube forums with his vigilante justice. That all works out and helps everything, Greg. Thank you. And Jimmy saying, people have just lost the magic of being a fan. I know. I don't even understand what these people are at this point. Like, what are you doing? Why are you devoting so much attention and time to the Raptors if you don't want them to do well? Like, seriously, what are you doing with your life? Seriously, go do something else. Go get another hobby. If you're not going to add to the positivity and trying to get us in the right direction, just go fuck off, please. Go take up crochet or fucking go bird watch or some shit. You don't need to be following the Raptors if you're not doing it in a healthy way. Seriously. If you're not following the Raptors as a healthy fan, a positive fan who wishes the best for them, just do yourself a favor and us. You really be doing yourself a favor. Because you probably get a lot of negativity and stupid shit out of your head just because you stop following them because you can't stop being so negative about them. Yeah, I'm with you, Jimmy. Go saying, exactly, Lex. It is sad. It is the main reason why I would love the NBA to move to a hard salary cap Players would have to make tougher decisions between money or super team, but the Players Association will never. Yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. Once again, we don't make the rules; the NBA does. We just have to follow them and try and win Larry O'Brien's within the system as best as we can. It's not easy for the Raptors to win Larry O'Brien's, and that's why it's all the more special when we do, and we will. So I listen. The odds, we know what we're up against, and we just got to go through the gauntlet and make it happen. No questions or buts. This is what Masai's saying. We want more Larry O'Brien's. He don't give a shit about anything else. He's only trying to get more championships. And that's what he's saying. You guys just have to do it. You can't fucking make excuses. You can't fucking use this or this and say this. It doesn't matter if it's not fair. You got to just fucking do it, because that's all Masai cares about. That's all he lives and breathes and cares about is that damn trophy. And it's the same for me. It's the same for Nick Nurse. And hopefully it's the same for most of the Toronto Raptors. So, yeah, that's just how it is. It's going to be how it is. They make the rules. They change them every summer. We've got to adjust. We have to play within their system of the game and just do the best we can. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Smooth saying, for me, it's all about incremental improvements from our team. Enjoy watching Scotty. Realize how good Pascal is and be positive. I know. I don't understand why people want to be negative about this team. There's just so much to like. There's so much to fun. Other fan nations are jealous of us because we have people like Precious and Scotty on our team. Like, they would be going crazy if they were in New York or if they were on other teams. People would be going absolutely crazy and treating them like gods. Meanwhile, we have idiot fans that don't appreciate what we've got, that have no gratitude. It really is important to practice gratitude in your life and be what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for Masai Ujiri. Oh my God, I'm so thankful for Masai Ujiri. I'm so thankful that the NBA has a team in Toronto. Oh my gosh, I have such gratitude that we actually just have a team that we can root for. I have such gratitude that Nick Nurse is our coach. I have such gratitude that we have the players that we have, like Scotty and Precious and Pascal and Fred. I have such gratitude that I had the opportunity to work for this organization at one point and be in the building for 5 years and be a part of it during the Vince Carter era. There's so many different things. People can point to things that they feel grateful for instead of feeling worse or detriment or having a problem with about this team. And that's what I want people to focus more and more on. What are you grateful for about the Raptors? Not what do you hate or what do you think should be changed or what you don't like. People more talk about that way, it'd be way, way better, Smooth. And I agree with you. Tom Duke's got the dookie out. Tom Duke has got the dookie. He's saying the Raptor show alert. Woo, 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 cops are coming. And yeah, you're in trouble, W.Lou, putting a hack artist like D.Thorpe on your. You know what? I kind of want to see what he does and what he says. And I'll bet you he'll step in it and he'll make himself look like a liar. I'll bet you he'll step in it. He'll say something stupid and everybody will be like, oh my gosh, this guy's so full of shit. Because in some ways, if he's going to go on the show and he's going to talk out of his ass, well, let's just catch him in a lie or just catch him in a kind of thing. It may be that I should watch it so I can really analyze him and I can say he's lying because he's giving a tell with how he said that. He's giving tells. I can read this like an FBI profiler. This is part of what I do with the Raptors interviews is I read them with their face and their body language and how they're saying it and what they said. And I can read people. And if I watch D.Thorpe on the Raptors show today, I can read whether he's full of shit or not. And I want y'all to go and watch him today if you're going to watch him. If you don't want to watch him, that's fine too. And you get your BS detector out and see if you can trust this guy. If you feel like this guy is coming from a place that seems honest and true. If he's coming from some place where he has selfish needs deep down, and that's why he's talking out of his ass. That's what I want to do. Maybe we need to go look at him, Fiercely saying, once you lose something, you realize its value. So ungrateful and pessimistic fans should be careful what they wish for. You don't want to lose your guys. No. And that's right. Fiercely's exactly right. You don't want to, listen, seriously, y'all need to take stock of what you have in your life that you feel grateful for and thankful for and really appreciate them and make it known to those people or things in your life that you are very grateful for them. And if you go in this direction, more pessimistic, negative fans, you'll be happier in your life. Trust me. And you have more great abundance come into your life because you showed gratitude. That's the thing. Y'all ain't got no gratitude for the Raptors and us being a top class NBA organization in this league. We could be a lot of different league teams in this league, and it would be a lot worse. So have some gratitude, Raptor fans. Greg saying, what can I cook these refs, Lex? Well, all right. Once again, Greg, the refs want, Ben Taylor wants cheeseburger and tater tots. Rodney Mott wants a vegetable stir fry. And John Conley wants potatoes and pasta. It's a little bit of a varied menu this morning. Really is. Sometimes they line up. They all want steak sometimes, and it's real easy. But they all kind of want different things here. Let's see. Tom Duke's vertigo is acting up when his emoji poo goes pink. I think that's because he had too much Pepto-Bismol from an upset stomach. That's actually the phenomena from that. Raps are so well built. Talent A+, vibes A+, financials A+, fans A+. You should watch Thorpe, Lex. Fuck Thorpe. He is an enemy of the state to me as far as this point. Maybe I will watch him just to suss him out and see if he's a liar. I'll come in there and maybe I'll see him and I'll be like, yeah, guys, we can't listen to this guy. And I'll just point out exactly why. Listen to what he just said just now. He just kind of fucked up and said something that's actually true what he means. And yeah, it may be like that. Jimmy's just said, I just hope the team knows they got real ones on and got their back 100%. This is just a bad look for the fan base. I know it happens with every fan base, but still. Yeah, it's just stupid. These guys are busy with real fans at MLSE Launchpad. These guys aren't online and they don't have no time. They're way too busy to be stuck on Twitter or any other of these spaces and listening to idiots that are talking out of their ass and that don't know what they're fucking talking about. So I really do think that these guys seem happy and they've stuck together, that they do have a good barrier up to keep the sound out, all the stupid noise. Hopefully that's true. They may see some of it and may seep in, but it could very well be they're like, yeah, fuck these people. They're not fans. They know they have real fans because they feel the love from them all the time. So the other people that they see online that maybe like what we're talking about, they just look at them as idiots and trolls and assholes. I'm sure that they don't think that Robert is a fan. If Fred knows what Robert's doing, I'm sure he thinks he's a fucking troll and he's a piece of shit, is what he would say. And that's the delineation. It's like some of us, they know, are fans because we come at them with love and positivity like a fan would. And then the other people, they don't look at them as fans. They look at them as like idiots and trolls online and people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Is basically probably what they look at. They may see somebody's basketball take like Pensair and they'd be like, this guy's a fucking dumbass. He does not understand real basketball, the inside and out. What he's saying doesn't make any sense to the reality of what we live. So it's really easy for them to dismiss idiots online as just being idiots. And they do not put the word fan near them. And they get enough fan attention that hopefully is much more involved in their life than that negative shit that we see. And it may be that we see it because we have more time and we're in the middle of it and they just don't have time to do it. They got to lift weights. They got to get treatment. They got to go into coaches meetings. They got to go do all this other shit like MLSE Launchpad. And they're not seeing it all like we are. God forbid they see all this shit and actually care about it. I doubt they do. And if they do, they know the delineation between a real fan and a fucking negative ass troll online. And yeah, that's important. And they probably do. In this day and age, they have to be thinking this way. They can't just paint us all as these assholes. They know they get good love and feelings from a lot of people too. So that's what I really hope is the fight inside with them as far as how they look at the fan or the Raptors Nation. I won't call it all a fan nation. It is a Raptors Nation and not a Raptors fan nation at this point, because there's a lot of people in Raptors Nation that aren't actually fans. Mike's saying Project Truth Correction. Rockets were the 95, the 6th seed, and they beat the Shaq and Penny Magic in a sweep. There you go. A 6th seed went on to sweep the NBA Finals. Anything is possible. Anything. Monique saying Fred in his interview yesterday said he's trying to get Sana into basketball and playing sports. Yeah, he said that he, much like these young ladies that he was around yesterday, he has a 11-year-old in a couple of years that's going to be probably coming and doing activities like they were doing already. We've seen footage of her and Fred VanVleet Jr. at the OVO Center dribbling and shooting on a little hoop and stuff. So it's very cute. But yeah, I'll bet you Fred would love to have children that are kind of like Gary Trent Jr. coming up and playing sports. It's very much something in his family. He said it himself yesterday that his mother, Sue Danforth, was a collegiate athlete, or was an athlete also. And she played sports also. And that is part of what led him to go into sports, is the sports that his mother played. So in that way, you can look at why it's important to have women in sports. because if Sue Danforth wasn't in sports, it's quite possible Fred VanVleet would have never played in the NBA. So there you go. There's a good reason why women need to be more involved in sports and playing, because Sue played, Fred played. So let's see. Isaac saying, feed the refs whistles. They need to swallow them. We'll see. Ben Taylor can be our friend. Rodney Mott is no nonsense old head. And John Conley, yeah, he reffed the game yesterday with the 905 a little weird. He's a younger ref. He's kind of a little weird, but hopefully we work it out. Ben Taylor is very nice to us historically. So hopefully it'll work out. Sheer Constant, I like Samson Folk better than the Sportsnet guys. More honest and fair in his assessments. I like Samson because he really is the coach, as he calls himself. He really does have a good understanding of X's and O's and plays and different things like that. He is an expert in that field. And I do really enjoy his stuff. I've listened to him do the reactions years ago and seen him build to being somebody who has a media pass. And now he's actually asking questions in the media room. That's fantastic. Because seriously, he's the kind of person that needs to be in that position, because he is a real person fan that really cares about this team. And he treats it in a gentle way that I wish more of his compadres that do the job with him would. That y'all could learn things from Samson Folk and how he deals with the Raptors. Because listen, y'all's audience are Raptors fans. Do you want to turn us off? Do you want to make us feel negative or pessimistic about this team? This isn't the Leafs, motherfuckers. We don't want that treatment from the media like Leafs get treated. The Leaf Nation, they're used to getting the negative stories and all this dysfunction about the Leafs team. The Raptors don't want all that shit. So you need to change your broadcasting and journalistic styles if you are covering the Raptors. And, I don't trust W.Lou partly because he is in Sportsnet now. He works for Rogers, and they have a directive to push baseball. And in some ways, he may be on the down low getting corporate directives from the people he's the boss to. They're the boss of him now, that tell him to be like this in certain ways. I don't trust anything corporate, especially when it's connected to other sports that directly compete with my sport. So there's a lot of different parts to this. Corporate broadcasting covering the Raptors is going to be slanted and pessimistic to a degree, no matter what, whether it's from the States or Canada. And that's what I'm saying. Like Samson Folk, you could learn some stuff from him, W.Lou. You could learn some stuff from him, Aaron Rose. And Orrin Weisfeld, you're doing a great job too. I will put you in that same category with Samson Folk, that you guys are just no nonsense and you are real fans. I can tell you care about the Raptors and you want them to win. And you can tell. Real ones can tell when somebody's like them or not. And Samson and Orrin are real Raptor fans covering the Raptors. And some of you other motherfuckers, you're just miserable fucks. They're just happen to get paid to cover the Raptors, but you don't actually give a shit about whether they do well or not. Yeah, you got to prove this to me, W.Lou, because you don't look like a real one, bro. You really, really don't. And I'm going to have to see what you say today. Maybe you're going to spur it on and make it even worse. And you're going to have a lot of people that hate your ass after that. We'll have to see. Logical saying the Rockets game 5 win over the Jazz in 95 first round was Stockton Malone before the Jazz went to the finals in 97-98. For note, the first round was out of 5 before. Yeah, not a 7-game series. It was best of 5. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Eastern Conference is kind of wide open in some ways. Sure, people could say the Celtics are the incumbent because they went to the finals last year and the favorite because of the record. But in some ways, it is still really wide open. It's anybody's for the taking. It's not like there's some LeBron James team that's just like, okay, the Cavs, they're gonna beat everybody. No, there's nothing like that in this Eastern Conference this year. People may think the Celtics are just penciled in and all this shit. They're fucking wrong. In fact, I got that bounty on them. Whoever takes them out, I will wear your gear on this channel. Whichever team eliminates the Celtics from the playoffs, I will be wearing your gear on this channel. I have a bounty on them. Sixers, you take out the Celtics, I will wear your Sixers gear on this channel. Bucks, you take out the Celtics, I will wear Bucks gear on this channel. That is the bounty I put on the Celtics. Anybody but them is what I'm saying right now. But yeah, I think anybody can win the East. Cleveland has no experience, but they're tough. Philly has never proven anything very far. Milwaukee's won it before, but can they do it again in this edition? There's a lot of questions, and it's not so slam dunk who's going to win the Eastern Conference and be in the finals in the NBA this year. So I'm open to anything, and we could do some crazy shit. Let Me Cook's here. Good to see Let Me Cook. Let's see how long we let him cook. Maybe we'll let them just simmer a little bit. Have you started the Raptors preview for tonight? Go Raptors. We're about almost 2 hours in and we're bound to finish. And on that note, thanks for watching today. Please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll be back here tomorrow with a reaction to the Orlando Magic game tonight. Hopefully the Raptors kick their ass. Very much so. Monique saying, you see why I'm a part of the team. So tight, etc., etc., etc. They know they can trust Monique. Masai probably knows Monique, and he says, Monique, I know I can trust you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do for the whole year. And she wouldn't tell us, even though she loves us and she's part of the Raptors family. She knows that Masai Ujiri has a no talking policy. And that if she knows anything about this team that Masai told her not to tell anyone, she wouldn't tell us. I know she would, because that's why she's a part of that team, because she's tight with them. So there you go, Monique. You go. Let's go, Raptors. Beat the Magic. Once again, let me go over real quick. The injuries are as follows. For the Magic, there will be no Bazitza, maybe no Cole Anthony's day-to-day, and no R.J. Hampton. Of course, T.Ross and Mo Bamba are on new teams now, so don't expect to see them show up for Magic. And on our side, we have 2 guys who are questionable and 2 guys that are out. Otto and OG are out. Gary and Precious are questionable tonight, and we've speculated that Chris Boucher may be starting tonight. And then the referees, Ben Taylor, Rodney Mott, and John Conley. Thank you guys for watching me today. I'm going to wrap it up just under 2 hours. I appreciate everybody. Let's go Raptors. Stay positive and stay the right kind of fans, the real ones, the ones that stay beside the team, have gratitude, and are positive for them. And we believe we can win. All these people are saying, some guy tried to tell me you're crazy. What, you think you can just will things to happen? Motherfucker, you'd be surprised how much you can make happen and manifest if you believe. So believe to achieve, Raptors. Go out there and beat the Magic tonight. Happy Tuesday to you, Isaac Campbell. Y'all have a good day. And let's go, Raptors, and beat the fuck out of the Magic. We owe those motherfuckers. We're going to beat them tonight. Yeah.